Good evening. How are you? Well, it's beautiful out. It's about 63 degrees. There's no wind. The skies are gorgeous. And so it's a treasure. It may be dark by the time I finish because the days are getting shorter, as we know happens. In terms of glimpses of light, the 11th Circuit has made a decision in connection with the stolen classified material that Trump has retained and thinks should be given back to him. Chutzpah, don't you think? And the court is going to consider the government's arguments about how to handle the special master, including cutting this whole thing short, although it's already been too long. The president is still persisting, of course, going to the Supreme Court. That appeal to the Supreme Court will probably have its limitations, because at the very time he's going there, the 11th Circuit is making up its own mind, and maybe even Judge Thomas would find it hard to intervene, although he's asked for papers to be submitted to him so that he can at least give a show of deliberateness, even if he doesn't do that, and the full court can look at it if they don't like what he says. So that's some good news. What's distressing is the New York Times has reported, no surprise in a way, how there's much more talk about civil war these days, and how it's exploded since the search warrant. And we have to be careful about violence and things happening. And we've already seen a too easy tolerance of coercion, shaming people, calling them liars, and also physical threats. And members of Congress are part of this as well. They say things like, the Democrats want to see Republicans dead. No, I want to see those who are committing crimes in jail. I don't want to see them dead. And I think that that's shared. So why are we in this situation? I think it's because it's like the person who wants to hold on to the job, no matter the seeming inevitability of what's going to happen to that job, or the person who hungers to continue a relationship, no matter how terrible the relationship is and how maybe even abusive it is to the person who wants it to continue. And so these people, they see what's going on, but it's not enough. And why is it not enough? Because we don't hold people accountable. It has become possible to think that you can be violent and get away with it, even though in one of the spectacular cases of coercion and violence and so forth was the proposal to kidnap the governor, and they were convicted. So there's an emotional, irate, unjustified anger for people taking risk, for a man who deserves no loyalty, who violates laws in the Constitution and does it every day. And you have the feeling of angst that no one stands up as you believe they would were you to do anything like the misconduct that Trump or his allies are doing. But these people, nothing happens to them. Sure, we have a trial in D.C., but it's like a rallying point. It is the far right's view that they're having the Chicago 7 trial, which they might say was on the left, as compared to them on the right. Of course, the issues between the two were, one sought to compromise the First Amendment right to protest, and maybe it was impure, but the court was just terrible in its exercises, as compared to the too easy liberal small L view to pretend that these crimes didn't happen, at least by the way they conduct themselves in not prosecuting the big fish, going after the head of the snake, and thereby encouraging others that if the snake can make it, if Trump can make it, then whatever they do, whatever civil war they may provoke, violence they may cause, deaths and harm they may cause, however they may compromise the ballot box, all will be forgiven. When the revolution of Trump turns this country into a right-wing dictatorship, as opposed to those of us who believe the strength of America and its promise to the world has been its notion that equal protection before the law. And we just had an argument before the Supreme Court that defied that by the Attorney General of Alabama. And that people have a right to vote. And ironically, the same Supreme Court case had that issue as well. So we have the two promises made by the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution at risk before a court that is made up of 6 or at least 5 hacks who seek to overthrow from within the government that they swore to uphold, to protect, and preserve. Namely, the Declaration of Independence is about equal protection before the law. All men are created equal. No man is above the law. And women, over time, when they had no rights, through 1920 when there was an amendment, and now they're fighting for them again. And with the Constitution, it's we the people. And that is that we the people are invested with the franchise and an ability to make a change. And the argument before the court was to diminish that franchise, to take it away. So you ask yourself, how side by side can we have such conduct by our public officials who've spent a lifetime doing this, and so they must appreciate what they are doing to the nation by failing to act at all to cause a reckoning among Trump on down the line. But put that next to the fact that we had a mission in space, and we even cooperated with at least Russian scientists to make it happen, that 2 people from America got Nobel Prizes in physics. So we have people who are extraordinary. We have acts that are extraordinary. But there's a bubbling up, like from a sewer, of these people who would destroy what is the best of America, not just its democracy, and not just the fact that we're all in this together, that we embrace a diverse population, but the intellectual obscenity of being against people who think, who care, who innovate, and make a difference that can make a difference for everybody. So that's my thinking on where we are today. And already it's getting darker where I am. So all the best. I stand in the cathedral of trees where the leaves will change colors and start falling to the ground. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.